South East Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Well, Center Parcs entered the Irish market in 2019 when it established its operations in the Longford forest. Now, just 5 years on, it has announced extensive expansion plans for the site, which will begin this September. Daragh Feighery is the Village Director with Center Parcs Ireland, and he joins us now to explain why its offering has become so popular in Ireland and what the new development work will entail. Daragh, you've been working with Center Parcs since 2017. So what, in your opinion, is the key to the success of the brand here in Ireland?
Good morning, Karl. It's a great honour and a great privilege to get to talk to you. I think it's fair to say that what we have here in Center Parcs in Longford Forest is quite unique. There's nothing else like the offer that we have in Longford anywhere else on the island of Ireland. You know, we've got self-catering accommodation, which is, some people don't realise, but we've got a myriad of restaurants that our guests can dine in when they stay with us. We've got over 100 activities that you can do all within the resort, so you don't have to leave the resort to take part in some fantastic, unique activities. The jewel in the crown for us really is our subtropical swimming paradise. So we've a phenomenal swimming pool complex that has a whole range of kind of water activities or water slides and rides and different areas that our families can spend. And most families spend 2.5 to 3 hours in our pool every day, and that's all part of, I suppose, what you can avail of when you make your booking, and then you build from there in terms of what restaurants you want to dine in, what activities you'd like to take place or take part in. So we've got archery, we've got different types of mini captain's adventures on our lake, we've got a zip wire across the lake area of adventure. So I could go on and on, all quite unique, all in the one place. And we are a premium resort, so we operate to a very, very high standard.
And of course, you're based in Longford. Why was Longford chosen as the location of Center Parcs?
I always smile, Karl, when I'm asked this question. I think it's fair to say for quite a long time, Longford has probably been overlooked from a hospitality or tourism perspective. So the team in Ireland Hidden Heartlands in Falls, Ireland are kind of very, very happy that we selected here. And the reason for that is it's very central. You know, Longford is very, very central for the island of Ireland. The forest was a massive part of the decision to select the site here. We bought 400 acres from Quilcha. It was a commercial forest. It was due to be harvested. So we have saved that to a large extent. There's a great roads network in the area, so you're not too far from a motorway when you get to us, probably 20-25 minutes if you're coming from west to east or from east to west. And workforce, there's great opportunity to offer large number of employment in the areas.
And provide us with the current size and scale of the operation there in Longford.
Sure. So we've got, we're situated within a boundary fence on 400 acres. We have just under 500 lodges. 30 of those are one-bed apartments, and then there's a whole mix of types of accommodation that you can book. We've got exclusive lodges which have hot tub and spa pods out the back of them, down to executive and exclusive lodges. Some of them have games rooms, some of them have sauna pods. So all, as I mentioned, self-catering, but we have restaurants to avail of. As I said, we're kind of centred around what we call Village Square. So that's our central area. And all in all, at the moment, our team numbers are just over 1,300. So we opened up at 1,000 colleagues, and we've grown because of our success over the last 5 years to 1,300. And getting ready for expansion then.
And of course, Center Parcs opened in Longford Forest back in 2019, just before the COVID-19 pandemic. Following the resumption of the hospitality sector after the pandemic, how has the Irish business been performing?
We're very happy with how we've been performing, Karl. You know, our kind of senior stakeholders in our head office kind of constantly comment on how well we're doing and how we sit by comparison to the more established villages across the portfolio. So really, really happy. I mean, we're delighted with our occupancy levels. They grew very, very quickly to the same level as our UK villages, and you know, really, really privileged to say that we operate at 98% occupancy all year round. And our business is very much based on repeat guests and returning guests. You know, we're a domestic-based business, looking to and have established a strong repeat business. So 60%, up to 60% of our guests are returning to us continuously.
And what does an average stay duration look like?
So yeah, we've a very kind of fixed model in that regard. So you arrive. We've got arrival days, as we call them. You arrive on Monday and leave on Friday, or you arrive on Friday and leave on Monday, or you can stay for as long as you want. But it's a Friday or a Monday arrival or departure day. And what happens then is that we will allow you access to your lodge on those days, on the morning that you're leaving up to 10 o'clock, and on the day that you arrive from 4. You can bring your car to your lodge, you unpack your car and anything you brought with you, and we ask you then to return your car to our car park. And that gives us a great kind of unique element to how we operate, because that makes our village then traffic free of guest cars and guest traffic during your stay. And then you know it's fantastic to see families and a whole fleet of bikes then are on village that our guests use. They can bring their own, or they can hire some from us, and lots of walking. So lots of natural source of activity and behaviours, which is great for families and guests that are here.
Daragh, as village director, provide us with an overview of a typical day in your own role.
It's such a unique role, and I've worked in hospitality all my career. I'm a chef by trade, and worked for 23 years with my previous employer in a managed services business. The role that I have here in Center Parcs, I'm really lucky to have it. I'm really privileged and honoured to do what I do. And my role is very much around directing a team. You know, a team of 10 senior managers that report into me, supported by my deputy manager and village director. And we, I suppose we're responsible for managing the standards. We problem solve, and you know, there's a lot of guests here. You know, we have 5,000 guests a week that will stay with us, 2,500 per break. So you can imagine sometimes some of the complexities of that. I mean, great team, robust team, lots of strength and lots of experience, but we deal with lots and lots of different things day in, day out. Sometimes some complicated. Other times, you know, we're just proactively managing the business. So no typical day, but really, really enjoyable.
And talk to me about how you generate income and business during the off-peak periods when the kids are at school.
So we have a dynamic pricing model, I think is fair to say. You'll get good value coming to us all year round. You'll see that our kind of off-peak breaks will have more preschool families, if you like, preschool children that will come. Now, I can't say it's only preschool kids, but there's, you know, we also have great seasonal offers that kind of switch on. Winter Wonderland is our Christmas offer. It starts kind of the first week in November and runs through till January. So probably the most popular pre-booked, booked in advance, if you like, time of the year for us, season of the year. So quite quickly has become quite renowned and very popular with our guests. And then Winter Forest Lights is another kind of seasonal offer that we start from the first week in January, in around the 10th of January. Winter Forest Lights starts here, and that's kind of where we again extend an element of a seasonal offer through to February. But I think, you know, the great thing for us, Karl, is that you know, we're an all year round resort where we have the same consistent high occupancy all year round, which is exceptional and testament to the Center Parcs model. You know exactly how we operate in our established villages, and there's something different to do throughout the year.
They say that there's no such thing as bad weather, it's just bad clothing. But does bad weather actually have any impact on cancellation rates?
It really doesn't. It's amazing. I mean, Irish people going on holidays in Ireland know what to expect, and as you say, they dress appropriately for that. The pool is a massive attraction, as I said. I mean, you know, whether it's rain or cold weather in the off-peak times or in the kind of colder times of the year, you know, we've an outdoor pool with wild water rapids with water temperatures of 29 degrees, air temperature inside of over 30 degrees in the pool. It adds a really unique part of the stay. And then there's lots of indoor activities to do. And as I mentioned, you know, you've got lots of restaurants, and our accommodation itself is fantastically cozy. You know, there's a stove and a kind of a lounge or a sitting room area in them. So we get a lot of families that just, you know, enjoy that. It's a busy holiday. You're very busy during the day because there's so much to do. And even if that's just out exploring the forest, in the evening time on the resort here, at different times of the year, it can be, you know, our guests are back relaxing in their lodges in front of the fire and enjoying good quality family time or friend time together.
Are you planning to grow the conferencing side of the business?
Again, another interesting question. We aren't is the short answer for that, Carl. We do have a couple of conference centres in two of our UK villages in Sherwood and Woburn. But at the moment here, we're still young enough. I think, we've had a disrupted kind of start to our first 5 years. We're planning and ready to start a quite significant expansion of our core business, and that's our focus for the next number of years.
And of course, that's a €100 million development, which will commence in September. What will the development entail, Daragh?
Yeah, so again, it's fantastic. It's we've already spent over 230 million, biggest single investment in the history of the state in our sector. So to add another 100 million to that is mind blowing in lots of ways. So it'll involve an addition. So it's a 40% growth plan is what that means really. It's what it translates to. 198 additional lodges. Within those lodges, we're going to have a number of our premium accommodation offer. So we're going to have some tree houses in there, which are exceptional. They truly are exceptional. We've got them in our established villages, and as well as that, then we're going to add to our leisure facilities. So we've planned in an expansion to the pool. We're going to build 2 new restaurants. We're going to expand some of the existing restaurants, and we're going to add to the leisure offer as well. And then on top of that, then we've got some additional development in Aquasana in our spa. We're going to put a treetop sauna in there and some additional treatment rooms, and then there'll be some back of house areas as well then to support the team and the team growth that will come on the back of that. So all in all, as I mentioned, 40% growth, which is fantastic and really excited about, and we'll add an extra 1,000 sleepers to the numbers that we have. So all in, when we're finished, we'll have approximately 3,500 sleepers on village. So something to look forward to.
And when are you expecting this construction work to be completed?
Well, we're going to build in phases and stages, and as you rightly say, we're going to start preparing the forest in September for the work, and the enabling works will start in September. The back end of next year is when the construction will start on lodge development, and we'll probably start off with kind of 50% of the lodge growth at that stage, and that'll take about 12 months to develop, and then we'll progress and we'll go on from there. So there's a number of years in this.
And talk to us about sustainability and how high a priority that is on Center Parcs' agenda. Yeah,
it's huge. It's a huge piece for us. It's something that we take very seriously, and we invest a lot of money in. So, already as we operate here, we've got huge, credible targets as we head to 2030. But as part of the expansion, sustainability and protecting the local environment, it's the forefront of our development and our planning, and we've factored in air source heat pump led network for powering our new lodges. We're going to have some facilities in place to reduce energy consumption, including high efficiency LED lighting, solar PV, and even down to managing water and water use. So we've kind of got some initiatives to reduce water consumption, like low flow outlets and things like that. So huge for us. But on top of that as well, just kind of, I take my role very seriously in terms of the forest that we're responsible for, and being custodians of nature, if you like, down here. We've got red squirrel on village. We've got a herd of native deer. We've got lots of different other types of wildlife. There's some natural water course as well, which is kind of spawning grounds for local rivers and that. So we work quite closely with the Fisheries Board and the Water Board to manage all of that in a very proactive way. So I have a great skilled team of forest rangers that support us with that.
Having achieved occupancy rates of 98% within 5 years of opening, complacency must be one of the key challenges that face the team going forward.
Well, it's a risk for sure. It's a risk for any business. I think no matter how successful you are, that's a big risk. And, we've worked really, really hard to be as successful as we have been in our 5 years plus. So just for me personally, it's a massive factor in what I talk about with the teams and what we focus on. We don't take anything for granted. We're continually, looking at the guest satisfaction scores that come in, looking at, our personal bests and how to beat them. And it's all through good dialogue. We've got a really good model in terms of how we train our teams, how we reward our teams, how we develop them. And I suppose progression is huge. So, we've got some unique ways of engaging and motivating the team that we have here. And that helps for sure. But I think, again, a big part of my role and the role of the senior management team here is just to ensure that, we stay on top of that, Karl. I think that's the big piece. You can't take for granted anything that happens on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis.
And can you share with us how you'd go about engaging and motivating your team there?
Yeah, I suppose we're quite an ordinary business. We're obviously big. We're a corporation. We've got a big headcount. I think we're the biggest single site employer in the Midlands. But we're very personable with them. We take interest in all elements of who they are and what they do, and we try to make life as easy as possible for our team and ensure that they get holidays, that the shift patterns that they work support good work-life balance. We have good incentive schemes in place, and they all are on a bonus, for example. We have good, discounted opportunities for them. Everybody that works for Center Parcs gets to come and use the facilities on their days off, so they get day passes as part of their benefit, which means they can bring their family and friends with them, and that gives you great buy-in. And I think as a result of all of that, and doing what we say is really, really important. And as a result of all that, we've had great, investment from the teams. Our teams are really, really invested in what we do and how we do it, and kind of going above and beyond in bringing the Center Parcs magic to life. So we've got high retention rates for our sector with the team that are here, and we've had lots of the team have progressed and developed and been promoted since we've opened, which is fantastic.
And Daragh, finally, what trends do you see impacting the family holidays of the future?
It's a difficult question to ask. I think there's lots of conversation about the kind of macroeconomic impact on discretionary spend. Really, Karl, is the big piece, and lots of people aren't really sure what the future looks like. I think for us, we run to a high standard, we operate to a high standard, and if we're giving good value for money for our guests who decide to put their hand in their pocket and come and stay with us, that's really, really important. And I think that if we keep the unique nature of what we operate and continue to evolve, we're very innovative. We add to the offer year on year, even outside of the expansion that we plan. But I just think that it's such a competitive sector. We have a very competitive sector, particularly in the summer periods and the peak periods. So we need to stay one step ahead of that and keep innovating, keep delivering to a high standard, and I suppose combat the competitive risk, I suppose, is what I'd say. Whether that's families choosing to go abroad for kind of city breaks and come and stay with us instead.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Daragh Feighery, the Village Director for Center Parcs Ireland, and there are certainly exciting times ahead for the brand as the development works progress.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.